Are you new to Enlisted, struggling to perform well, and need a short and definitive guide to play better? Look no further, this is the guide for you. My name is Slacker. I've been playing Enlisted for quite a while, and I've had the pleasure to play with and learn from some of the best players in Enlisted. From them, I've learned lots of tips and tricks to play better that any player can learn.
Let me see your war face!
I was asked to make this video by NoodleCrime, who makes awesome raw gameplay videos. Before you watch this guide, make sure to check his video out that I created with him, as well as his other content. With all of that being said, let's jump into it. Tip number 1, bring engineers in your squads. Enlisted is an objective-based game. The more you and your team control the area around the objective, the more you will win games and progress the tech trees. Having engineers at the ready in any squad that can have one allows you to build rally points, which are important for spawning you and your teammates closer to key positions. Engineers can also build ammo boxes for your team and obstructions and obstacles for your enemies. Ammo boxes give you points when used and can prevent teammates from running out of ammo on their primary weapons or refill their special weapons. Obstacles such as sandbags, barbed wire, and hedgehogs can be used to obstruct the enemy side of an objective and even slow down vehicle movement. You can also troll enemies pretty badly with the barbed wire on enemy rally points.
I solve practical problems.
Tip number 2, place rally points effectively. Depending on the size of a capturable objective, rally points can be placed anywhere from 35 meters to 90 meters away from it. There are 3 different types of rally points that you can build: a frontline rally, a flanking rally, and a leapfrog rally. For frontline rallies, you generally want to place your rallies between 50 meters and 70 meters from objectives. You want to be able to go from spawn to objective actively as fast as possible, but also be far enough that most enemies will not be able to find it. If enemies get close, active combat near a rally point will make it temporarily unusable, not to mention they can leave unpleasant surprises. Rally points can also be used for pushing flanks. Placing rally points on the flank of an objective provides a new route for your teammates to the objective, as well as to attack enemy rally points. The final rally is the leapfrog rally. With enough map knowledge, a player on the attacking team can place a rally that not only provides a flanking attack on the current objective, but on the following objective as well. This saves time and controls the flow of your team. It's very effective if performed well. I'll also briefly mention APCs here. They give you the ability to place more than one spawn point, since you are limited to a single rally point, and allies can spawn on your APC. You can place it as close as 50 meters to an objective, and while they are larger than rally points, they don't make any passive noise. Try to hide them behind buildings or on irregular terrain. Tip number 3, learn good aiming habits. Enlisted is for the most part a first-person shooter, meaning there are some general habits that are staples in other shooter games that should be considered. Pre-aiming where you believe the enemy will be is important for controlling engagements. This will reduce your reaction time between seeing an enemy and shooting them. In addition, make sure your aiming settings allow you to have precise aim when you do have to move your aim. I can only speak for mouse and keyboard on this next point, but I found having a low ADS multiplier allowed me to use hipfire for quick aim snaps to catch a target, and ADS to give me precise micro adjustments to stay on the target while I'm firing. I personally enjoy a 0.3 ADS multiplier, but your taste might prefer something different. You'll also want to turn your mouse acceleration off in your PC settings, as it reduces control and precision. You can also lean around corners to present a smaller target, and also confuse AI soldiers, but this does affect your recoil. I only use lean in niche situations, and I've bound them to my side mouse buttons. Tip number 4, understand recoil control. Enlisted has a few hidden mechanics that affect the controllability of weapons. Firstly, recoil is reduced when crouching, and even further while prone. With this in mind, crouching while shooting doesn't interrupt your ability to fire, while also making you a smaller target and reducing recoil. Proning from a standing position leaves you vulnerable in Enlisted, since you periodically cannot shoot back. With this in mind, soldiers using automatic weapons of any sort will benefit greatly from speed of changing pose, movement speed while crawling or crouching, as well as recoil reducing perks. If you do prefer other perks, I am curious to hear about them in the comments. Tip number 5, learn basic positioning. So you know how to pre-aim at targets, and how to keep your sights on target during an engagement. Where should you be while shooting at the enemy? Ideally, you want to be using cover to protect you and your squad whenever possible. If you run into an enemy squad on the battlefield, you'll want to sweep around a corner, only exposing yourself to a single target at a time. The further away you are from a corner as you engage in a target sweep, the more the targets can be separated. However, the further you are from the corner, the more exposed you and potentially your squad will be if an enemy comes around the corner first. With this in mind, you need to find the sweet spot between overexposing yourself as you round the corner and allowing quick re-engagement between targets to eliminate them efficiently. Tip number 6. Which squads do I bring? Enlisted squads can be seen as the equivalent of cards in a card game. They have strengths and weaknesses, with some being generalized and others having specific use cases. Your generalist squads have soldiers with the most combined firepower and movement speed and also carry an engineer. At lower BRs, this is typically assaulter squads, sometimes machine gunner squads at BR 3 and 4, and rifleman squads at BR 5. Use these squads to place rally points in good positions, move to the objective effectively, and engage in gunfights with sufficient force. More specialist squads that are worth your consideration are APCs to give your team an additional spawn point, guerrillas to flank into enemy territory further than other squads, and engineer squads, tank squads, and plane squads to counter enemy vehicles. AT gunner squads can also be considered, but relying on specialized anti-tank weapons solely for eliminating tanks can be self-penalizing. I highly recommend bringing explosive packs as your universal grenade and practice throwing them at tanks. I always time it in the following way in my head: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Depending on whether the enemy tank is moving or stationary, what angle I'm approaching it at, and what kind of tank it is, it will determine how long I cook the explosive pack for and whether I throw it at the top of the hull or beside the tracks near where the ammo is typically stored. Learning all of these nuances will come with time as you learn what each tank is capable of. I am curious though, which squads are your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. Tip number 7, bag or secondary weapon breakdown. This has been a subject of heated debate for quite a while. Here's how I interpret it. For most players, ammo bags make the most sense. You don't have to invest in 2 weapons and upgrade both of them, and you typically will be able to do what your soldier needs with one well-chosen fully upgraded weapon. A secondary weapon makes sense when it's the only option the soldier type has. You have the silver to invest in multiple upgraded weapons, and you learn to swap weapons instead of reloading and spec for it, or you want the soldier to have more flexibility. All in all, I see running 2 secondary weapons as something to consider if you've already played 1,000 or more battles and you want to expand your skill ceiling, but I think this is overcomplicating things for beginning or intermediate players. Unless you're bringing guerrillas or radio operators, just bring 1 weapon in an ammo bag. Tip number 8, what makes a weapon good or bad? Enlisted weapons have all sorts of stats, visible and not visible within the game menu. If you want a full breakdown of all weapons and all of their stats, I highly recommend checking out Euthy's Enlisted Resource Google Sheets document. The vertical and horizontal recoil stats in the game menu are not accurate, and you can't see hidden stats like dispersion, recoil control, and moving spread increase in the game at all. Generally, the best bolt actions have good damage and rate of fire. Semi-autos have 12.7 base damage and low dispersion. Select fires have 12.7 base damage with good recoil and dispersion stats. SMGs have high damage per second with lower dispersion and recoil. And machine guns have high damage per second with low recoil and minimal moving spread increase. These are general guidelines with some exceptions to these rules, but some weapons will really suck or do well depending on your ability to control the recoil. A great example of this is the selection of BR2 SMGs for Axis. Between options such as the Beretta M3842, Beretta M38A, and Beretta M1918, your best option will be the one that shoots the quickest while also being able to land shots on target. Which Axis BR2 SMG do you prefer and why? Tip number 9, squad member controls. It's important to view your squad soldiers as extra lives. Your first soldier dies, you can swap to another soldier and re-engage pretty quickly. As we want to be able to engage enemy soldiers efficiently, we should try and prevent that for the enemy. Make sure you have key or button binds for swapping from squad to individual soldier commands, and place them behind cover near combat. Preference is different from person to person. Some people will assign these actions to their mouse wheel, but I use Q to switch modes and L to give orders. The goal here is to find a balance between keeping your soldiers close to combat, but also keep them safe while you're actively participating in the battle. Finally, tip number 10. What determines a win? As I mentioned at the beginning, Enlisted is an objective-based game. If the game was a team deathmatch, the meta would probably have a lot more variety, but currently, as I mentioned, the squads that can build rallies and move quickly while also defeating lots of enemy soldiers are very valuable. This is because there are the best squads for capturing objectives, holding objectives, and creating tactical advantages for you and your team. Playing a squad that allows you to get lots of kills and few deaths, but at the cost of objectives, is a surefire way to ensure you lose more games and miss out on that sweet 50% bonus to XP and silver. This means that a tactic that gives you more score is likely not as valuable as creating a win. Whew, I'm a little out of breath, but I think that covers it. I hope you found this info helpful and are able to put it to great use in the battlefield. If you did, please make sure to like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more. If you think I missed anything important, also feel free to leave that in the comments below. My name is Slacker, and I'll catch you all next time.